guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I am here to bring you the flip through of my Edith Holden nature journal. So to give you an idea, the size is about 5.5 by approximately 8, and then it's about 3.5 at the chunkiest kind of point. So obviously I did quite a bit of this on camera, but not all of it. So there will be bits that you've seen and, you know, other bits that you haven't. So the actual cover of the journal was made just from literally, it was some paper that I had, you know, it was just kind of folded over in half. And I thought, well, actually it was an A3 sheet. And I thought, well, if I fold it in half again, you know, it's quite thick then and robust. And then I just obviously stitched around on the sewing machine this fabric, which was some old fabric of one of my daughter's dresses, which, you know, you can probably see there. It's got lots of like nature type images, which I just thought were lovely. And that's how the cover was made. On the back, you've just got one of my Handmade by stamps there. And then I just included a bit of ruffle on the front and a bit of yellow lace. And then here, one of my little book plate printables. This has been food coloured in green, which I just thought was really nice for this journal. And then you've got some of that lace, which I also food coloured in green. Now the closure, I don't actually know whether I've done one of these closures before. I may have done, but if I have, it must have been a long time ago because, you know, I can't even think whether I have or not. But I saw recently Emily from Emephemeras Treasures. She had done, it was actually her design team project. And her closure was the bulldog clips, you know, with some, I think she had sari silk. And I just thought, oh, either I haven't done one of those before, or if I have, very long time ago. So I apologise if I can't remember. But yeah, it just jogged my memory anyway. Even if I hadn't done one before, I'd obviously seen them done before, totally forgotten about them. And when I saw Emily's, I thought, oh, that looks so gorgeous. So, yep, sorry, Emily, if you're watching this, I did pinch your idea there. But all you've got there is obviously the 2 bulldog clips. And then I've wound round some of the lace that we used throughout the journal. And then I kind of secured it, I guess, an extra ribbon there around the middle of the bow. So I love how that looks. And I'm just going to leave that clipped on there so as I don't misplace it. But yeah, so that's the closure. And obviously, you know, you can take it off completely. I mean, the journal is quite fat, but it doesn't like spring open or anything. So it's fine. So going inside the journal, I had a lot of fun with this. I hadn't used my Edith Holden book before, as I said during the videos, and it was lovely to actually finally, you know, use it. I know that I was kind of late to the party there, but yeah, I had a good time, and I mixed it with quite a few of my Rambler's Notes pages, which actually just complemented it so brilliantly. So this is some Edith Holden page, and this is some of my Rambler's Notes, and you know, they just go so perfectly together that I just love how it looks. And then this is some vintage newspaper here with this really big pocket, and then some more vintage newspaper there. This is another bit from Edith Holden, and then a stamped butterfly. I've just put this piece of ruffled lace down there. It's not stitched, it's literally ruffled onto the page, glued on. And then I used one of those lovely pockets which we did in the mass makes. So you've got kind of 2 pockets going on there. And then the back I've just left with that lovely paper, but of course you could cover that up and journal on it if you wanted to. But I love how that turned out. It's a really big roomy pocket, so you know, it's really good. Again, you could glue it into the book somewhere. I didn't, because I felt the book had quite enough going on, but if you wanted to, there are several pages that, you know, still have room that you could glue it down. So tucked into there, you've got obviously the 2 pockets. So in the back pocket, I just again took some more of the Rambler's Notes pages and just made a little sort of foldy flip there. And that's been coffee dyed, and that just goes in there. And then I just had this vintage postcard, which I think this is Hampton Court. Yeah, it is. So this is Hampton Court, which was one of Henry VIII's palaces. And I mean, if ever kind of anybody is over here, or if you maybe are here, and you know, I'm sure probably most people who live here have probably visited it, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful palace, and beautiful surroundings, and yeah, it's got amazing gardens and things, and it's just in the most lovely area, and there's a lovely park opposite and things. It's right beside the river. It's just stunning. So I was quite pleased because this was just in a bundle of kind of vintage postcards which I bought, and I mean, as you can see, it's quite marked on the back, but I mean, it is quite old. So yeah, I just thought that was nice because obviously it was a picture of the gardens there. So I've popped that in the back. And then here, this is just a little journal card that I made from the Ramblers Notes ephemera pieces. And then I just popped on a little vintage postcard, postage stamp there, and then stamped a little postmark over it so it looks like it's a postcard. And that just goes in there. So that's in there. This I left plain. I wanted to just kind of show off the pretty picture, really. And then here, again, you've got lots of journaling space, a little fabric ruffle, and then here, this is one of those Matchbox books, and it just opens out, so lots of room for journaling. You've got some vintage, not vintage, coffee dyed doily piece there, stitched down on the sewing machine. This lovely piece here from the Ramblers Notes again, and some more doily there. So, and this is on coffee dyed copy paper, but it's thicker than normal copy paper. It's about, I think this is 100 GSM, where normal copy paper tends to be about 80. So it's kind of slightly more robust, and I don't know why, but when I'm touching this, I feel a bit like I'm Yvonne Preston. So Yvonne, if you catch this video, I apologise for calling myself, or saying I remind myself of you, but whenever she does a flip through, her pieces, they just sound and look so wonderfully crinkly and lovely. So this is just, it reminds me of how her pieces look and feel. So yeah, I hope that that's not an insult to you or anything, Yvonne. It really is meant as a compliment, but yeah, I love how that piece turned out. So I've clipped that on there. A piece from the Edith Holden book and some of that green food coloured paper, a little piece here, and some lace trim down the edge. This is that Edith Holden pocket that we made, and then just I've layered up a couple of pieces on there, and then tucked in here I just made a little book with some tracing paper where I printed the Ramblers Notes on, put a label on and things, and then I've just taken some fly sheets, just tear that little piece off that was hanging off, some fly sheets from a couple of vintage books. So you have got, you know, a little bit of kind of text, but not too much, to make a little booklet there, and that just goes in here. Oops. So I love how that looks. You've got a little number tab there, and yeah, some Edith Holden pieces and vintage newspaper. Again, some of the Edith Holden, some doily and a label. Some more Edith Holden up there. A little label and some of that green food coloured doily. And then just some like invoice type paper. Some lace trim. Bit of doily, and then here in this envelope we just made you know, a pocket and layered up some pieces there, you know, so it looks pretty. I just popped in a little postcard stamped piece there, a little piece there with some lace, and then tucked on here this is just, it's a bit like the one on the first page, except instead of being, you know, like a pocket where you would see the book page and obviously this piece and things, what I've done is made it into like an opening flap. So you've got journaling space here, book page pocket here, where I just tucked in a little piece there, lots of pieces from the Ramblers Notes and things there, and then folds over. So it's like a booklet, but it's got a little pocket and a smaller flap. So yeah, and layered up some stuff on the front. I really love how that turned out. It's been obviously coffee dyed and food dyed and inked, so it's very splodgy, which again I just thought looked really awesome. So I love how that looks. And that just again paper clips on. I've tried to paper clip a lot of pieces on here rather than glue them in, so that if you wanted to keep it more minimal you could. So again, some more of that lovely page there. And then a pocket here with a you know, diagonal pocket there. And I just made a little flippy book, again from some of those green food dyed papers. And again, it's just been stapled across the top with some lace and some doily. That just goes in there like that. And then tucked in, you've just got a butterfly sort of poking out. I just made this lovely journaling card, which I love how this looks. It's so pretty. And yeah, I don't that often do nature themed journals and things, I think. And I really had a lot of fun with this one and love how kind of it turned out. This is that fantastic eco dye paper that Sue had very kindly gifted me. So I used a sheet of that in here, and look at those colours and things. It just picks up this journal like it was made to go in here. So thank you, Sue. Then here I've got another big pocket from the Edith Holden, and then just popped into there. I just again made a little flippy piece just from some of the Ramblers notes background pages, and it just literally tucks in here to this stamped image of like a seed packet. So that just goes in like that. Then you've got some layered up pieces. You've got one of my little vintage postage stamps on some fabric that's been stitched around, a little stamp piece there. And then here, paper clipped on again, is one of my tracing paper envelopes. And what I've done is put a magnet closure there. So you've got a label, you've got some lace, a little flower, some pearls up here, and then it has a magnetic closure, and tucked in there, I just popped a stamped journaling card. So that's that. And then you've just got some lace here. Then this is part of the glassine bag, so again just layered up some bits, and then I popped in there, you've got one of the little tickets from the Ramblers notes, so that just kind of is held in there, and then you've just got a little, again like flippy piece there, made from the Edith Holden, the contents index page at the back there, and little butterfly. Love how that piece turned out. It's so cute. And then here you've got a large pocket, and again I just popped in a vintage postcard, which this one is it's Eastbourne. I thought it was Brighton, but yeah, it's Eastbourne. And again I just popped it in because I just thought the colours were fantastic in this journal, because it's obviously lots of garden. And then here you've just got a large journal card again from the Ramblers notes pieces, and then here obviously lots of bits layered up, and then tucked in the top, struggling to actually get it out now because I'm squashed in here. Again I just made a little, oops, oh yeah, a little sort of foldy flip, so sorry about that. I will have to repair that. And this one, it's not got a closure or anything, but it just, you know, folds over. And again I just did it like an envelope on the back with a postage stamp and a stamped postmark and one of my book plates and things, so that just goes in there. So sorry, I'm running out of room here because obviously it's not a very big space to do the flip throughs, but okay, that all goes in there. Then this is the centre of the signature. I just left it so you could see those lovely papers. Just put some ruffle down the edge. Here you've got just a paper clip holding this closed, where you've got a little flap out for journaling, so you can journal here and here. And then I haven't opened this envelope up, but I just popped an Edith Holden image behind there. So this is an actual vintage envelope, so the window is very like misty looking. And that's obviously how I purchased them. Love how that looks. It just ages it and looks so pretty. And then I've just got an Edith Holden, you know, label thing for a flower there. And again, I just paper clip that closed just to hold that flap closed really. Then on this side, you've just got a little pocket, and inside the pocket, I just put one of the little round tags from the Ramblers notes, another little tag there. And then here I just made one of those little new fold outs, which hopefully my tutorial has gone up by now, but it's in small size. So we'd obviously made some of these, or I did a tutorial making some of these, but then using a whole sheet. And this is now obviously just a little dinky one, and then I just put like a label piece there to act as like the flap. So yeah, love how that turned out. They just all go in the pocket there. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this book. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. And then here obviously is another you know, lovely Edith Holden page. Just put some label, and then here you've got, you know, a pocket. And I just tucked in this envelope. There's nothing in it, but, you know, it just tucks in, obviously, just like that. Don't need a paper clip or anything, it stays there anyway. And then I just tucked in a journaling card, which again, this is one of my printables, but I just layered it up with some flour and some label there. And then more room for journaling here, again, that lovely paper. And then on this page, I just made a belly band with some ruffle at the bottom. And then I just tucked in just one of my little, I think this was from the Birdsong printables, and it's just been, you know, inked up and things. So that's that one. And then here I just have the rest of that glassine bag, again, just layered up some bits, and then popped in there. I just did a couple of kind of journaling cards there. So some of these have been that coffee dye, which went very yellow. So I just want to point that out, you know. They haven't been dyed with turmeric or anything, but they just went very yellow, which I think is actually a result of the photo paper, I think. So this is the rest of that green paper, and then here the rest of that Edith Holden pocket, with obviously some bits layered up there. Tucked in the side, I just again made another little envelope. Not an envelope, sorry, a little slippy. So again, it's just, you know, some of that pretty paper, and it just holds closed like that. Goes in there. Little label, and then here again, this is some more of that, or you know, this is the other side of that lovely eco dyed paper. And over the top of that, this is another piece that reminds me of Yvonne's pieces. So again, if you do watch this, Yvonne, I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm meaning, wow, I feel like finally I've pulled off some of your pieces. So yeah, this is coffee dyed paper. Again, that thicker coffee dyed paper. And again, just stitched around a piece from the Rambler's Notes with some doily. And it just opens up, obviously, for lots of journaling in there. And I just paper clipped that on again. So, you know, you really could remove quite a lot of this stuff and it really wouldn't be so bulky. Here I've just got a pocket, and then I used one of my tabs, which again I did the tutorial on, and my magnet closures. So I just put the magnets on the tab, and it then holds all these little pieces together, which I loved using that. And again, just then took some pieces from the Rambler's Notes, inked them up. I mean, they're very grungy looking, but you know, I thought that was really nice with this, you know, with the eco dye papers and the Edith Holden and things. I thought it really suited that sort of grungy look. Left this paper plain, again a fabric ruffle up there, and then let me just move that paper clip. I've clipped this onto a few pages because it's quite a heavy piece, but I'll just show you in between those pages. So here's the rest of that envelope, which is again a pocket, and I've just layered up some, you know, various bits in there, and then popped in a little journaling card, some lace trim down the side, the rest of that invoice paper, the doily tab, and then it was paper clipped on there. So again, I think we did make this envelope together, or I may have already made the envelope, but we decorated it up certainly. So I love this. This is probably my favourite piece in the whole journal. So basically it's two envelopes which I have glued together to form this little sort of piece. So obviously this side is like the conventional envelope. We made this lovely journaling card, so that just goes in there. It's backed on to some of the brown fly sheet from the Edith Holden book, so that just goes in there. Lots of bits layered up and things, really, really pretty. This side, again, I just made a journaling card to go in there, which again I think we made together. So love how that looks, and that just goes in there. And then in the centre, I just put a journaling card from the Rambler's Notes. So you've got kind of like three pockets there. You've got like the side that's the envelope, you've got this centre, and then you have this side. So yeah, really good fun. But I don't think I made that actually on camera. I think I had made the basic and we decorated it. this is the Edith Holden pocket, the other side of it. So again, I just had this floating on my desk, but it just went in there so well. So I've just tucked it in, layered up a couple of pieces there. And again, just layered up some pieces on the other side, some more of that green paper. And then here we've just got that little fold out piece, which I just left with, you know, no sort of extra pad or anything like that. It's just lots of room for journaling on there as it is, layered up some bits on the front. And it's just a tuck spot. You've got some of that vintage newspaper, and that tuck spot's holding in a little journaling card that again we made. And I just enclosed or included one of those little napkin tabs that we made. So that just goes in like that. And then we're on the back of the inside cover, or the inside of the back cover. And then I've left this plain. You've got here this pocket, which again, this is made from that lovely fabric from my daughter's dress, which had been coffee dyed. So that's what the brown marks are. I love how that turned out. So I didn't really want to do anything else with it. I literally just put it, you know, in between some cardboard and then stitched it round on the sewing machine. And then I've just layered some lace down the edge, and I thought that was kind of all it needed really. And then I'm pretty sure we made this together. So you've just got this little foldy piece. I love how this looks. Really love like these bits and things. And then it just is held closed, and you've got there some pages there with like a little flippy pad. So again, lots of room for journaling. There is another pocket here, which, you know, obviously you've got other things, so you could pop something into there. And it just, again, winds round like that. Again, that lovely vintage newspaper. And then the final thing is in here, you've also got a pocket. And I just, again, enclosed a little vintage postcard. This is in Oxford. It must be part of the Oxford University, I think, there. Again, I just thought the colours went really nicely in this journal. So that's a vintage postcard. And then I made another one of those little, you know, new fold out pieces that, again, hopefully my tutorial's gone up, but it may not have done yet. And yep, just wound it round with some of that yellow baker's twine, which Amy kindly gifted me. And that all tucks in to that back pocket. So yeah, pretty full-on journal. It started out, it was going to be quite a basic one with not much stuff. And, you know, like all these things, it just then, well, I was going to say it got carried away. Obviously, I got carried away, and it ended up very full with lots and lots of things going on in it. But I absolutely love how it turned out, and yeah, I had great fun making it. So I hope that you guys like it, and as I say, it's obviously going up in my Etsy to coincide with the video. So I hope you like it, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks then, guys. Have a great day. Bye.